Hi guys, how are you today? We are going to be carrying on with the build of the Porsche Legotechnic RSR today. And this is going to be part 4. And we are going to be building the front suspension setup. Like I said, that is the rear suspension setup. And here is the front suspension setup with the steering and all. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the front end suspension today. And these are all the pieces that are still left to use for the build. So we're going to continue on with the front end suspension today. So what we need is, first of all, I have my Lego pieces here in a container, and we're going to start off with that part here. So we have one blue peg in there, and I'm going to put in a second one like that. So that is the first piece here. Now we're going to move on to here. We need that part. We need 2 washers, and we need a little axle up here, and the same goes for down here. So we need those pieces 2 times. I'm gonna do one, and I'm gonna do that end here, and then I'm gonna do that one off camera. Now I will be back when we have that one made. So I'm gonna do the first one here, which goes on like that. So we're gonna push the axle through here like that. We're gonna put that one on. Or is that the shorter one? Alright, I hope you guys can see here. That way, I'm gonna put on the washers on the back here. So those 2 washers here, they go on the back here. Like that, and we are gonna do the second one as well. Alright, that is what it looks like so far. And it's gonna be the front suspension and steering setup, just like on the page here. Alright, let's move on to the next page, guys. Alright, so we need the same setup again for that side, or for up here I should say. Same setup, and I'll be back again. And we need, for that side here, up there, and for up here, same idea. So it's gonna be 2 times what we need. Alright. And they have to be facing down like that. Not up like that, because up like that were for the bottom. Yeah. And this time the top ones, they have to be facing down like that, so the opening is on the bottom. So we have something like this going on here. Something like that. And we need to put that on the other side as well. So now we have something like this here. Front suspension and steering setup. And that, when that part is done, it's gonna come onto the front end of this car here. Alright. Next one here. Let's see what we need to do. We're gonna put this guy aside because we're kind of done with it. Now we need to build this part here. We need an axle here. You can measure 1 to 1 here, so that the axle will have the same size as there. Alright, so that is what it looks like. We need to put another black piece on here and another one of them. And we're gonna build that part here. And we just need the blue pig with the little axle on it. Like that one here, we're gonna put it in here. And there we go, that piece is done. That is that piece down there. Alright. Okay, moving on to the next page here, we're gonna have to keep on the build with this part here. With that guy. We need a couple of pieces here, and we need some pieces here as well. I think they turn it around this time like that. So for that we need the white piece that is going to go on the back like that. And we need those two brown axles here, those ones. You can measure them off down there, 1:1, and they will go in like that from the back here, like that. And then we have to put on here the back plate here, so the whole thing will look something like this here. Now we put the back plate on, put the little axles through here, and yeah. Now we have to put on the second plate. Which I have in my box here. Put on a second one. Alright, that is 2 plates put on. Now we're gonna have to put on one of those. And we're going to have to put on the steering rack as well. Like so. Well, that is what it looks like in the picture as well. And now we move on to the steering rack. Which is this guy right here. That is some sort of a steering rack to get the steering happening on the front end of the car here. So the title of this video is going to be Building the Front Suspension and Steering Rack, I think. Or I will just put the title Building the Front End Suspension. I don't know yet. I will have to see about that. So steering rack here. And this is probably part of it as well. So those here, those are the ball joints. It's like on a real car. On a real car you don't have a steering rack like that. You have hydraulic steering or something like that. But these are ball joints for the steering here. I think you have them on a real car as well. I don't know what they're called on a real car, but these are ball joints for the steering suspension here. All right. That is what we're building here at the moment. For this part here, we need those ones. We're gonna have to put them on like that. And then we need little caps. Those ones here. And we need those 2 times. There's one. And we're gonna put the red cap on like that. So the whole thing will look something like that. And we are done with the steering rack here, guys. And the steering rack is gonna go in between here, like that. So you have steering going on like that. Those are the stoppers. Those are the stoppers. If you don't have the stoppers in there, the steering is just gonna go out. So you have stoppers here on each side. So you can't steer any more than that, and you can't steer any more than that. You have a certain amount of play here for the steering to do, which is a good idea. And you probably have a sprocket going through here with a little axle here. So the sprocket is going to turn the steering. We're going to check that out in a minute. So we're going to move on to here. Next page. For that we need, like I said, we need an axle here, and we need a sprocket. The sprocket goes in here and the axle goes through here. So that is for the steering setup, guys. That is your axle. And then we need a sprocket. That is your sprocket that does the steering left and right. So we have the steering here. Look at that, guys. We can steer the car. We can steer the wheels here. Brilliant. Steer the car left and right. Alright. Brilliant. Now this is what Legotechnic is all about, guys. Moving parts, hydraulic hoses, pumps, what have you. Like I said, I had a dump truck with pumps on it and pump actuators. That piece will, where would that go? It will go on here like that, like so. And now we need two of those guys up here. Those are those white ones here. Those ones, they keep that steering rack and pinion in place. So just really quick here, the rack is this piece here, the black piece, that is the rack and pinion. Rack and pinion steering. Rack and pinion, because here we have the pinion gear, that is the pinion gear, and we have the steering rack. So you guys know that yourselves. Rack and pinion is what that is called. Rack and pinion. Alright, we have put on those two collars down here to keep everything nice and sturdy here. Yeah, rack and pinion. Alright, next page here, we're gonna put on the what are they called for put the rims on. Those are the rim holders, the hubs, I should say, the hubs. And therefore we need the hub holder, that is the wheel hub, and we need the ball joints as well. So we need this guy here, the hub holder, that here is the wheel hub, and we need the ball joints as well, those guys here. Here we have the hub on the holder here, turns freely. We need a ball joint up here and a ball joint underneath here. And we're going to stick it up on the front suspension here. Oh, komm. Du wirst doch wohl. Du wirst doch wohl. Du wirst doch wohl da rauskommen. And we need a ball joint here as well. Yep. And our front suspension is partially done. Steering here, steering on the other side. We have put a ball joint on that end, and we have put a ball joint on this end here as well, so that can turn. Alright. Now we need to put, we're gonna put that guy there. We need to put some axles through here. So those axles are gonna be maybe here somewhere. Yeah, those axles are gonna be here and down in there. And to give them support, they have here back plates. I think they go on either side, because you need 4. So we have a back plate here, and now we're going to put another plate on the front here. There. And we did the other side as well. So we put backing plates on here, on that side, and we put backing plates on that side here. And now we're going to put on the shock absorbers here. They're going to pop in like that somehow. Yeah. One of them is already in. Down there. I don't know how good it's picking it up. Way down in there is a little pin, a little axle here. And that is holding the shock absorber here in place. Of course, we might have to put a washer on here to hold everything in place. So I'm gonna do the other side now. That is the other side done. Way down in there is the pin. Yeah, way down in there, you can't see it. It's right there. And that is the shock absorber for the front end. Alright. So we have something like this going on. The other side. And we have moved on to the next page. Alright, let's see what we have to do here. It looks like we have to put on all the yellow pins here. And those are 4. So we need 2 on that brown little axle that we put on for the shock absorbers. Up here, and 2 up here. So let's have a look. Yeah, so it's 2 here, which is here, and that little axle there, and we need 2 over here, and same, that is the same on the other side. Alright, so now we're gonna have to put 2 washers on that guy there. And that is what it looks like so far. Rack and pinion here. And the suspension. Brilliant. Now we are going to be moving on to this build here. It's going to come on the back here. So we are building that. And that piece here will go on to the back here somewhere. So it's gonna come on like that. It's gonna clip on. And now we need to put on those pieces. They will go on like that. So we have something like this going on. Next page. Let's see what they want us to do here. We need the yellow axle, and we need 2 pegs with an axle on it, and we need this guy here. We need 2 collars. They are gonna go on here and here. And now we need here 2 steering arms. Those are steering arms for the steering. And we're gonna move on to over here, and they will go on the red. One here, on here, and under that guy down in there. Same on the other side. So something like this here. Alright, so we have steering. Look at that, guys. We have steering. Steering arm here. Steering arm there. Steering. And all of that somehow fits onto the chassis here. So let's have a look how that all comes together. So that is how it comes together. We have the pins down there. Those ones, they are going to be pushed into the slots here, to the holes I mean. Those 2 pins, or holes I should say, are going to be pushed in. Those are pins, and those pins are gonna go through the 2 holes there. And they're in. They are in. You can lift the car up. Those were the 2 pins to keep the steering suspension in here. You can have a look. Yeah, those 2 here, that one and that one, those 2 keep the steering here, the steering suspension in place there. You can see it right there. Those 2 are keeping that one and that one in place. So yeah, that is going to be the end of this part. This is going to be part 4 of the build. I hope you have liked this video. The box is still up until the build is completely finished. So yeah, let me know in comments below, guys. What do you guys think of the 4 videos so far? I think this build is pretty awesome here. Front end, rear end. Front end, that is the steering, and that is the rear end. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on to search for new parts so I can start the next video. Yeah, and leave a like and a comment, and stay tuned because there are a couple more builds that come up until the car is finished, and we're gonna put the stickers on as well. So that is it, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.